Players discuss when 3636 stars becomes achievable in the Senior Hunter contest in Love and Deepspace, and is this actually the best battle mode for farming diamonds long term? Welcome back, my fellow flowers of Linkon, specifically my fellow jasmines. How are you feeling? I am still recovering. I am not okay. It's been a hot minute, probably been 5 days since I last posted. No, but seriously, I am definitely still trying to recover from our darling Zayne's myth. I am not okay. Okay, they had no business being, or rather making us caroused to this level. Okay, we end up feeling all hot and heavy at the start of the myth, and by the end of it we're like heartbroken, as it always seems to go for these new sets of myths, or rather most of the myths. There's probably just like 2 or 3 myths that are happy, and the rest of them are just super depression. But anyways, I feel like the post that I'm going to talk about today from Reddit, as always, huge shout out to all the amazing Redditors that post their thoughts and opinions for all of us to engage with in a healthy discussion. I feel like this particular post is not really, or this topic in Love and Deepspace isn't really talked about enough. I don't see that many people talk about this. It's regarding the Senior Hunter contest, and realistically, how long does it take you to unlock the Senior Hunter contest first thing and actually get 36 out of 36 stars, whether you are maining one ally, more ally, or whether you're building teams for one guy, two guys, or more. Let's find out what players have to say, and I will give you my own personal experience with my 2 accounts towards the end of the video. So let us begin, shall we? The post reads, how long did it take you to clear Senior Hunter contest, that is 36 out of 36 stars? They said I was able to get 12 to 16 medals out of 36 for 3 or 4 seasons with somehow low stats and not decently upgraded memories, depending more on Saoria's division using KOD. I apologize, I'm a bit confused about what is Saoria's. If someone knows about that, please comment down below. Anyways, they go on to say I'm not complaining at all. In fact, I am surprised at how good I progressed. Even if it was little, because I'm missing some limited companions that could have carried me well. Also, Lightseeker and Foreseer might make me use the crate. They're stubborn, they won't come home, and I need them, truly. I've been trying to focus on upgrading my memories recently and farm protocores. 1 week from now, when I'll enter my 3rd month of playing. I'm kind of wondering how long does it take in the worst case scenario, especially for low spenders and free-to-plays. What strategies or things have you done to achieve it? For context, this post was made roughly 17 days ago, so it's still quite fresh. As always, some comments which stood out to me. This one reads, LMAO, it took me a year and a half. I didn't understand protocores at all and was always stuck on like the 31st-ish star until like a few seasons ago. This next response reads, I started playing in November. This week, I achieved my first 36 stars, achieving 34 out of 36 on the 2 previous seasons, and before that 32. And between May to July, 24 to 28-ish. It took me long, but I'm so proud, and I finally did it at least once. This comment reads, I'm a low spender, but I don't know if I'm a good reference. My teams are kind of split. Maybe if I had focused on just one love interest and upgraded him a lot and used brute force, I could have done it faster. I have a mid Xavier, mid height Raph, and high Caleb team, so I used them this season and they did well. At the end, I used 2 Caleb teams and changed my Lumiere team by Lemurian Sea God, LSG, and got the 36 stars. But if you upgraded 4 stars of just one love interest and with the right protocores, you can do it too. So it really depends on how you manage your resources. Another player says, it took me 8 months for the first 36 stars as a low spender. If I had only focused on 1 or 2 love interests, maybe I would have achieved it earlier. Another player says, Silas Whale here, and it took me 5 months to get 36 stars because of my insistence of using only Silas-only teams. If I allowed myself to use one or the other allies or love interests, it would have happened much faster, like in November or December, and not January. This response reads, I'm a day 1 player and I got my first 36 stars in December, so nearly a full year. And for full context, for anybody that doesn't know, Love and Deepspace launched on January 18th, 2024. So just to put that out there. Another player said, it took me over a year. I am free to play and I don't invest heavily into any one team or guy. I am a casual player. I've only managed to get 36 stars once so far. Still impressive in my opinion. I can get high 20s to 30s score consistently now at least. That's honestly so cool. Then this player says, I've been playing since September of last year. I'll officially hit my 1 year in less than a week. I would say I'm a moderate whale. I don't R3 every limited card, but I do pull for every card. I'm also a pretty big battle girly. But I got my first 3636 in June, so about 9 months, but I didn't get another one until this current Hunter contest season and the one before that. Protocores are your best friends. For me, I did a lot of tweaking to make sure my crit rate and crit damage were pretty leveled, because if your crit damage is high but your crit rate is low, then you are actually hitting critical damage a lot less. That is so interesting. I really genuinely did not know that last point, so I learned something new today. Next up, this player says, I started playing this game not quite day one, but during the first or second week, I'm not exactly sure. I was free to play until my and Xavier's birthday when I decided to treat myself to a secret promise, and then I became a low spender from then on. I have pretty good luck with pulls, but I didn't really build my cards past 60 to 70 level, and Protocores still confused me a bit, so I only hit 36 stars last week after locking the F in and getting more cards to 80 with decent Protocores. ETA, for advice, learn how to use your companions. I prefer stuff like HSR or team fight tactics, so lads was a steep learning curve for me. Once I figured out how to use all the abilities and stuff like how to stack skills, it got way easier. This response reads, I buy the Aurum Pass plus expensive promise, I'm assuming heartfelt vow, packs 1 and 2 for most of the banners I pull on. I started in December during Silas's Myth. It took me about 6 months for my first 3636. I do have to note that I was lucky when I started, since I started just in time to save 200 wishes or Blue Empyrean wishes for Sky's Embrace, and I managed to get 4 out of 5 standard myths with the banner and the anniversary. After the first full stars, it took me a bit, maybe 2 months, to get another, but I was consistent in 33 stars after. Now I'm more consistent with full stars since I got more myth companions, better protocores, getting more 5 stars and ranking my standard 5 stars. The first one is definitely the hardest and can be influenced by when you start and if you can get myth companions. Limited myths are stronger than standards, but even standard ones help a lot by virtue of being 5-star cards. I heard 6 months to a year is the general timeline for your first 36 stars unless you spend a lot and can shorten that timeline. Another player said, I started in January and got my first 36 Senior Hunter contest stars when I pulled R3LR at the end of March. I want to assume this is Lemurian Sea God. Someone correct me if I'm wrong gently, if I'm wrong about that. So 3 months. I'm not a low spender, I know how to sort protocores and I spend a lot of effort learning combat. For low spenders, it'd take longer, but I have a friend with R1LR and R1FA who got her first 36 stars Senior Hunter contest in 6 months by using only Caleb. She's also very into the combat aspect of the game and learned advanced rotations. This response reads, for most people it takes at least around 6 months and it depends on the Stalactrum requirements matching the teams you've actually developed. Mine was 119 or 119 days in according to my achievement screenshot. I wouldn't call myself a low spender exactly lol, but I got lucky with the rotations lining up with 2 of my best myth teams, that is Ultimate Companion Weapon XO2 for Caleb and Forseer, that is for Zayne, and the C team was an easy one. I've since gotten 2 more at 215 days and I'm at 34-36 this season. I could maybe continue my streak, but I would rather farm for Zayne's new myth than spend resources on just one team for Senior Hunter contest. It's good to keep in mind though that 36 is really just for bragging rights. If you can comfortably get to 33 out of 36 and clear all the stages, that gets you all of the diamonds and that is really the only main reason to build teams for it. Then next up, this player says, about 5 months in, but I love myths, so I pull to get all of them for every love interest and I admittedly pay to speed up leveling and ascending cards sometimes. Being a Xavier main helps a lot too because he has a lot of 5-star lunars to pick from. Lumiere is a beast. Lightseeker is decent with a claymore and the King of Dark Knight obviously has issues, especially in the higher open orbits. But he does great in Senior Hunter contest. I stack so much HP on him. Learning how to build protocores and using the claymore is the true key though. But I think what's underrated is actually having so many myth companions to choose from. I'm a light harem player as well, so I have a good collection of lunar cards for the other love interests too. I wouldn't call myself a light spender, but I'm not close to reaching VIP status. Then this response reads, 7 months on my mid-spend account. 8 months on my free-to-play account, which was started 3.5 months after my main. So I had more experience with protocols and companions by then, especially because I was molding before I became a spender. Both accounts' first myth was Abyssum Sovereign, Silas's dragon myth from last year, and gained considerably more stars after Sky's Embrace, in which I went for myths only. This player says I'm an Aurum Pass only player and it took me a year, leveling memory 70 ascended and grinding protocols. I don't have much skills even if I have learned Claymore and how to use the companions, so in order to play comfortably I need like a minimum of 7.5k plus attack and 50 to 200 crit ratio for each team. Another comment reads, so I've only been playing since April of this year 2025 and just recently got 34 out of 36 stars. Last reset, I got 33 out of 36 for the first time. It really hinges on learning how protocols work. You can be using 5 or even 3-star cards. People have legit won with 3-star cards, but protocols are heavily where it counts. There are some great protocol guides on here, but for beginners with low resources, here's quick advice. Focus on crit rate and crit damage, rate before damage, but preferably both followed by attack. That will brute force a lot. Dump any protocols with HP and defense both on him. Nobody will utilize that combo. Easy way to get more materials through decomposing. Focus leveling up protocols on solar cards first. If you can match Stellacrum colors, then you want to look for protocols with boost to weak damage. For me, I have invested in protocols with crit rate, crit damage and damage to weakened all on the same protocol, with HP and defense as a side in matching up with cards. Meaning if it's got HP plus crit rate plus crit damage plus damage to weak, then it goes on a card whose functioning stat is HP. You can get way more in-depth with protocols than I do, so I suggest the guides. Good luck. Another player said, the first time I got 36-36 was last season. This one I also got 36-36. I have been playing for 190 days. I'm pay to play and I only use Raphael teams, which is probably one of the reasons why it took me longer because I haven't invested in anyone else's teams. This is still extremely impressive, by the way. I only recently, since last month, started paying close attention to protocols and that made a huge difference. Alrighty, this player says, as a mid-spender, a little over 5 months. It takes some time to build solid teams, especially as a free-to-play player. I am pay-to-play, so I have the stamina and ascension material advantages that helped me to get there quicker. My main strategy has been, number 1, budgeting stamina for core hunt 100 per day, Heartbreaker the rest of my remaining stamina per day, and shards as I need them. And number 2, leveling my protocols to +9 absolute max to preserve the leveling resources. I used to skip core hunt and just blow all my stamina on Heartbreaker, but I found it's better to have a reserve of cores to pull from rather than farming when you need a specific core because you have no control over what you get. RNG sucks. And finally, last but not the least, this player says, I started playing in late April this year in 2025 and really attempted to get 36 out of 36 after I pulled the King of Dark Knight rank 1 or R1 back in August. I sadly didn't know what it meant to RX cards before the King of Dark Knight. So even if I have the Lemurian Sea God or LSG, he's only at R0, but still with both of them I achieved 36-36 for the third time in a row, which is super impressive again. I guess that's 4 months period to get there, but I really trained to get there. Probably have spent more than 100 battles on the first Senior Hunter contest that I really wanted to beat. I am not patient enough to level up cards above 60 or 70, so that is still a challenge every season. Then, I'm a mid-spender I guess. Aurum Pass, Promises and level 1 and 2 packs for mid-pairs and the summer banner that I found too cute. I guess I listened to the advices given on Reddit and invested early on in protocols. Brackets as soon as I could get to core hunt level 8 or 9. It is probably why I have not leveled up my cards very high as I spend a lot of stamina in cores. Then I asked for advice on rotations on this Reddit and watched as many videos as I could to understand rotations that could work with my mid-level builds. Even if I can get to 36-36 with a bit of a struggle, I still can't get past Orbit's level 120. Yeah, I will say that the deep space trials are generally supposed to be whale bait and meant for people to spend large amounts of money, like if they're R2ing and R3ing, their cards will have a better time. That's why the Senior Hunter contest is generally way more free to play and all player level friendly, to be honest, which is why that is a long-term beneficial way of earning renewable diamond resources, because as you know, or if in case you didn't know, the Senior Hunter contest refreshes, or the season resets every 15 days, meaning we can get the diamond rewards reset or refresh every 15 days. Just an important note, the Junior Hunter contest and Primary Hunter contest are one-time rewards only, but the Senior Hunter contest is what everyone really aims, or rather advises mainly free-to-play players and low-spending players to really focus on and lock in, because that is where you can really get all of your extra diamonds to help boost your diamond savings at the end of the day. So now to come about with my own experience. For context, my main account is 411 days old. I started playing during mid-August of Misty Invasion last year. So by now, I am way more than 1 year into my gameplay. And so this is what my Hunter contest stats look like. To be completely honest, on my main account, I'm not sure when did I unlock and do, the primary and junior hunter contest. But just for your reference, these were the cards that I used. There was a Xavier team for team A Zayne team for team B, as you can see over here, and a team C is a Silas team. So as you can probably tell, I am a harem player when it comes to actually, having well-rounded teams for each of the guys, because when I started playing at the beginning, like last year, I was only obsessed with wanting to get Silas, leveled up. And I quickly learned within a few weeks of playing that is not a smart way to play the game, because Silas has very few cards to begin with, and I literally joined when he had only 2 5-star limited cards, at that point of time. So I was like, I need to be smart about building teams for all the guys, so that I have a backup plan in case Silas's team, doesn't work out for me in the end. So that's when I started collecting and leveling up a lot of Zayne cards, because Zayne is like became my immediate favorite. And, I would put both Zayne and Silas as my number one. For those of you that know or don't know me, probably know that by now. But I actually don't recall when did I actually clear these. But I will tell you, I will be using my second alternate 100% free-to-play account to give you some more context about how did I clear, both the primary and junior hunter contests. But my main account, my 411-day account, is an Aurum Pass account. There are some days where, some months I go completely free to play. And in the past, I have purchased like 3 heartfelt vows, and I have purchased some in-game packs during certain banners in the past as well. But the last 4 or 5 months, I have not really been doing that. I've just been trying to work with making the existing cards I have stronger. Now, as you can see, my current Senior Hunter contest rewards is just 300 out of 600 diamonds. The thing is, for me, I have been able to get consistently anywhere between 300 to 400 diamonds in my Senior Hunter contest for the last couple of seasons. That's because my protocors, okay, it's honestly nothing to do with my cards. I feel like it's just the protocors that are whack. So that is something which I need to experiment and learn well on. But for those of you who wanted to see, look over here, the Junior Hunter contest and Primary Hunter contest diamond rewards are one-time rewards. So if in case you wanted to check that out, that's what they look like. And for Senior Hunter contest at star number 33, that's when you can claim all the diamond rewards, which is why some players were saying in their comments and responses earlier in that Reddit post that aiming to get 33 stars is more than sufficient, and the Senior Hunter contest rewards and refreshes with every new season. Duchess_Arya, I have talked about her on my channel before. Go and support her on Reddit. She has a YouTube channel as well. She has really smart and effective wishing strategies to really help optimize your gameplay if you're somebody who is interested in combat, whether you are a free-to-play player, whether you are a low-spending player or high-spending player. She actually has combat guides available for just about any type of spending player or free-to-play player out there. So I highly recommend you check out her guides. Also on YouTube itself, there are so many wonderful Battle Girl guide channels out there that you can, take a look at. Some that I can remember off the top of my head, there's a YouTube channel called Hunter Lumiere. She also has some really good guides, and some more, YouTube channels. If you just type in Love and Deepspace battle guides, the best of the best might show up. But there are some hidden gems that might not always be shown. So, don't be afraid to experiment and take your time with searching some good battle guides. Now, moving on to my 100% free-to-play account. So this account is 108 days old, or 3 months plus old at this point, and is meant to emulate a 100% free-to-play, play for fun Zayne main account. Now, I actually definitely did pull on obviously Zayne's third myth. As you can see, I managed to get this, I was surprised by myself. I had actually saved up 19,600 diamonds and 10 free pulls from the event shop, and I actually got R1 God of Annihilation in 162 pulls. I know, that is completely insane. I was not expecting that, but I was super happy. I have never gotten an R1 myth outfit or R1 myth companion, limited myth companion before, so I was pretty happy to be able to achieve that, at least on my free-to-play account. And so this is what the junior and primary hunter contest stats look like for this account currently. I will say that at the beginning, I had, pulled for a few Raphael 5-star cards over here. I think I had joined during June, like mid of June, June 15th, 2025. That's when this account was created. So there's a Raphael team which I used for Team A. Team B, as you can see, I ended up using Zayne because, of course, my whole point of making this free-to-play account is to actually do it all for my darling Zaddy Zayne, okay? And Team C, as you can see, with my R1 God of Annihilation, and I have his, birthday card, and for some reason his business trip card is at R2. There are some really nice cards on this free-to-play account, and I'm honestly having a lot of fun with, playing on this particular account because it's more of a challenge, and I like a challenge every now and then, okay? As you can see with the, what is this, the primary or the junior one? No, this is the junior hunter contest. I'm at 7 out of 12, so it's going to take me a bit of time for that Raphael team, I guess. The Zayne team still going strong even with the 4-star solar slot memories, as you can see, and the successful 12 out of 12 star clear for the Team C. So that I'm 110% sure this Zayne myth pair is going to carry me in battles pretty much for a very long time. And Senior Hunter contest I have unlocked, but it's going to take me a while to be able to build teams for that. So this is just showing this to you for your reference in case you were curious. Another important thing to note is I do not have any protocors. There are 0 protocors on my cards, by the way, on my free-to-play account. All of the 12 out of 12, 36 out of 36 stars that you saw in the primary and junior hunter contest, all those cards are leveled up, but they have no protocors on them. I have not put a single protocor on any of them, which is why I was sitting just very surprised when I sat back with myself and I was like, wait a minute, did I do this? Because I can't even remember how was my experience like for the junior and primary hunter contest when it was my main account, because it's 411 days old and I didn't really make a note of when did I unlock all those things and if I had put protocors or not. So I can't even remember now. But having this second free-to-play account really puts into perspective for me about how to manage my resources a lot better and to just play smarter, and not harder. It's a long game, okay? This is a game of patience, and if you really love battles, this is definitely worth getting into. Maybe you have a main account and you want a free-to-play account. You can always do that, just to see where it can take you. You can experiment with different types of play styles, different types of teams, choose your favorite guy and see how it goes. I also made a third account just for the heck of it. I don't even know what am I planning to do with that. I'm currently keeping it like a Xavier main, but I have no idea. Like I got one of Xavier's beach cards on that account, but I don't know. I'm just going to continue to save diamonds on that and see how it goes. On my main account, which is 411 days old, I managed to get only 1/2 of Zayne's myth pair. So I'm continuing to grind diamonds and I want to see towards the end of Zayne's myth event if I still want to continue to complete the myth pair at this point of time, just because the only other banner which I truly care about for the rest of the year is honestly Silas's third new myth, which might come out either in November or December. I am speculating maybe November or December. This is just my own fun speculations. Okay, nobody come at me. This is just me predicting. I don't care if you think that I'm wrong or if, I'm inaccurate. Okay, just relax. This is just my predictions. Okay, calm down. I'm just assuming it might be November or December. So that should give me enough time to save up diamonds back for him. So I am looking forward to see how that's going to go. Personally, I have always been anticipating a vampire demon lord long-haired Silas, just because a lot of vampire hints have been dropped, because of his midnight warmth secret times and the fact that, he sleeps during the daytime and he works only at night. His skin is super pale, the red eyes, all of that symbolism. I'm also aware of the fallen angel Lucifer, Hades type symbolism for him because he is associated with a lot of feather motifs. So the whole fallen angel Lucifer symbolism has been thrown around around a lot for Silas as well, and I totally get that. I would be happy with either or, okay? Whether it's a fallen angel Silas or a vampire demon lord Silas, I'm happy with both. I just love that whole dark aesthetic that Silas has going on. It's very much my style. So I'm going to be eating it up either way. So my darling flowers of Linkon, let me know in the comments section below, what do you think about the Senior Hunter contest? Do you feel like it's a renewable way for, farming diamonds? When did you actually unlock the Senior Hunter contest? And more importantly, have you managed in your playtime of Love and Deepspace able to 36 out of 36 stars a Senior Hunter contest season yet? Maybe you have done it multiple times, or maybe you cleared it for the first time. I would love to know in the comments section down below so we can all share some tips and tricks to help us advance in this beautiful battle mode together. Until the next video, my darling flowers of Linkon, I wish you the best. Bye bye.